Ashtar Command. Arrests and monetary reorganization greetings from the command. This is a delicate moment, but no less exciting for it, as our fleets clash with the remnants, the non-federated, behind the scenes of Earth's power structures, carrying out the necessary energetic procedures for their elimination. You often wonder how you can be more effective in these dynamics and contribute to the reorganization of the surface of this splendid planet. The power of awareness allies. Being aware of the necessity of this change is already a great help. The call has resonated throughout the galaxy, and there is no way this change will not take tangible shape when the dynamics in which we, of the command, and other friends are involved are extremely precise, technically perfect, and, without hesitation, directed at the goal, the removal of non-federated agents from this realm. The time is approaching for the imprisonment of those sinister beings who, from the height of their arrogance, have controlled the rhythm of life on this world for so long. Profound transformations will be unleashed, and many will be removed from the stage as the game continues. Only now the pieces on the board are entirely in our favor. Evidently, they continue to scheme and use people and personalities respected by the masses to try to maintain their narratives and their control. The melting of masks, but we already see the masks melting away, and little by little, they show us outwardly who they really are, losing their initially cordial and kind demeanor, revealing manipulative and Machiavellian expressions. From the field of their unbalanced psyches, these reptiles, dependent on fear externalized through adrenochrome, all of this is about to end. Our warning to them is the last drops they will drink from the chalices of their arrogance, mentioned here, at this very moment. The sacred role of Earth living on Earth has never been easy, as you say, but you cannot deny that this experience is one of the most incredible you have ever had in your history in this galaxy. Furthermore, all the inhabitants of Earth are the great guardians of the 12 sacred circles of the portals, which connect Earth to other galaxies and beyond. These portals are the object of desire for the non-federated, now more than ever. What do you think they so desperately desire in the region of Megiddo, which you call the Middle East? There lies the 11th of these great stargates, great allies. Truly, much is expected of your reactions when many of those you considered good will reveal themselves by tearing off their masks and losing the ability to maintain their human disguises in this world. Many of them can no longer maintain their disguises because solar activity has increased considerably and neutron activity has made it difficult for these non-federated groups to maintain their fanciful and once seductive masks, which are now crumbling. Managing concerns and distractions, it is normal that, amidst all this, you worry, that you continue to be somehow concerned about the fate of Earth and the survival of future generations after so many rumors of war. On one hand, this will bring you greater awareness and responsibility. All of this is a game of distractions, while arrests threaten the representatives of darkness in this world, leading to the dismantling of the thousands of entities under their command. They are agitating to divert attention toward chaos, the nourishment for their sinister plans. They are reckless because their arrests are inevitable, guaranteed by the sacred code of the galaxy, which they have despised and which you have integrated into your hearts with far more humanity. The nature of these arrests will not be something you perceive as you might imagine, but rather something that will happen when many of your leaders and the main individuals responsible for the inhumane and disrespectful activities in your world begin to disappear, take a period of leave, and suddenly not return to their posts. This has already been happening more discreetly for a few decades, but you will see that these removals will take place very soon in a concrete and direct manner. Those who belong to the darkness must understand that the portals of the Megiddo Valley are now under our jurisdiction, and they have no chance of escape through those exits. Especially the portal of the goddess, number 11, of enlightenment, the great portal of Vesta, the great solar goddess. This is one of the main reasons for the many conflicts in that region. Signs of collapse as you perceive these continuous threats to life on Earth. Watch those responsible for this chaos fall, even as they speak to thousands of people, struck down by a simple malfunction of their biological system that causes them to lose consciousness. Soon you will understand more deeply what we mean. The norms of the galaxy were established thousands of years ago, based on the principles of the falls. They are rigorous protocols, honored by all of us, the Federated, and these codes will be fully implemented. Every galactic citizen on Earth will be aware of these laws, where brotherhood is always the primary guideline in group settings. Free will and galactic intervention over time, non-federated civilizations, invited by many humans on Earth, found the freedom to act as they did until the last century and more recently, because the loophole they found was the human freedom to make their own decisions, based on a supreme decree issued by the source, free will. And that was the human invitation, dictated by greed and a thirst for power. But also the sacred galactics, coming from various star systems, have forcefully entered the game in recent decades, especially in the last 3, and have activated various codes, bringing greater lucidity to Earth humanity and calling it to awareness and galactic responsibility. The awakening, you will see many human beings on Earth kneeling with their eyes turned to the sky, invoking the highest powers of the star leaders because they have awakened from their deep sleep and have stumbled upon the chaos that reigns on Earth today, a chaos that is experiencing its final throes before the time jump. Evidently, one of your greatest concerns, those of you who listened to and read our messages, is how your loved ones will fare when the most alarming arrests trigger looting and chaos in the most disturbed and unstable minds, which are often subject to manipulation by the darkness. Preparing for the greatest event, allies. Know that you are preparing for the greatest event ever to occur in the galaxy. In no other system has a similar event occurred, not in the form and scope it will have for you. We guarantee this to you, based on our code of ethics and truth, instructed by the great commandments we have served with love for millennia. There will be no transition without those responsible for the chaos first facing the consequences of their actions. And this is already underway. When we speak of arrests and detentions, we do not refer exclusively to the physical level, but also to the astral and mental levels. Because in your physical and etheric brains, devices have been installed that have made it difficult, and often still do, for you to make more lucid decisions regarding the fate of your lives and beyond. The energetic purification process, do not be afraid when you feel sensations in your head, considering that your personal doctors have already diagnosed you as healthy. Free, therefore, from malignant diagnoses, you must understand that you are undergoing a process of energetic purification and liberation from the chains imposed by the darkness over the last 120 centuries. While some will be imprisoned by celestial decrees for their evils against humanity, others will be set free. These others are you. While all this happens, maintaining your intentions on the good and seeking within yourselves so that negative inclinations dissolve into understanding and brotherly love will be of the greatest help to all of us who are on a single ship with the same primary goal: to free Earth from the reckless, the unbalanced, and the non-federated. Arrests and monetary reorganization. While all this happens, it is good to remember the importance of anchoring yourself in a balanced way to the material sphere, being aware of the disasters that will soon occur in your financial system, the dismantling of the old structures that keep you trapped in patterns of scarcity and frequent debt. The arrests of financial leaders worldwide will unleash chaos in the financial markets, causing stock market crashes and an extreme need to reorganize your monetary structures. Do not fear losing what is rightfully yours. However, it would be negligent on our part not to warn you of the need to prepare for these movements, as the signs are already evident. Within our teams, there are specialists in this field, ready to welcome your loving soul-level invitations to receive the appropriate instructions and guidance, which can come through various channels, from telepathic channels to signs and direct synchronicities. You will not lack supplies and essential goods, but it is fundamental to be aware of the need for financial reorganization in your life. When the central computer is shut down by us, and we already possess all the necessary codes to do so, chaos will be unleashed among those who live in darkness, as they depend on it to remain active and in command. It is up to you, our allies, to maintain tranquility, knowing that we, the command forces, walk with the decrees of the source written and well-defined under our weapons, and that we have the honorable duty to assist you all in the transition, considering you not merely members of a planetary community, but as brothers and sisters, our family, distant from you for millennia, whose presence will rekindle the memories of our ancestral kinship. Our presence will rekindle those memories. New leaders and accelerated pace as this divine time advances. Those who issue orders driven by a thirst for power will lose control, and veteran souls, already ready to assume certain positions, will enter the scene. We have already informed you, through our transmitter, that many are already ready, and none of those global leaders, of whom you are already aware, will assume ministerial positions when Earth is once again affiliated with the federated community. On our part, allies, the pace is very accelerated as we continue to move the pieces on the board and trust in the support of our allies on the surface, which is you. Portals opening in the skies expect the opening of other portals in the skies, resulting from further arrivals of our fleets of multidimensional beings who come to contribute to the transition. The skies will continue to open, as will the Earth itself, because at this moment reorganizations are scheduled, and the plans proceed as previously established. Adjustments are always necessary, but none of them divert attention from the central and incorruptible goal, the liberation and elevation of Earth to the galactic community. The archetype of Mars is present, calling the Star Warrior to assume their divine place. Transition, allies, from chaos to order, and establish the necessary limits so that you may take command of your lives on this splendid planet. A glimpse of Earth, oh, if you could see Earth as we see it at this moment, this splendid blue-green globe. What a marvel, dear allies. There is not much more to say now. We begin the closing of our direct transmission through our source in South America, which, by the way, this region is a great paradise under moral construction, a future receptacle for many nations that will descend from the southern meridian. The king who rules this world is keeping his promises, and our presence is the connecting key between your realm and his. Final blessing, Avenue Christo, most worthy, command at your service. This is an official message from the Ashtar Command, transmitted through Neva. Listen now to the voice of the command speaking these truths at this very moment. Hear our voice as we warn you of the next steps in the ongoing transition. We continue to enter your solar system and support the changes taking place. We ask you to spread our messages in your communities as much as possible so that we can create an even stronger connection. We know that many of you expect an epic invasion from us to assist you in this liberation process. But we guarantee you that what awaits you is much more than a simple mass arrival, during which you can see us in your skies. That would not be difficult for us. We will recalculate the course as many times as necessary to ensure that our stay with you, in this phase, prolongs itself to the point where we are no longer separated. For us, too, these 120 centuries have been painful, as many of ours are asleep and are now beginning to show the first signs of awakening. With immense joy, we bless all our allies on Earth. The core of reason now resonates within you, uniting you with the immensity of the cosmos. It is evident that you are not alone in the universe, and that at this moment there is no fundamental need for faith, although it has been a great connection to us, especially over the last 30 years. Now our presence is more tangible than ever, grounded in reason. Hear our voice, through our transmitter, at this moment. We are the voice of the Ashtar Command, and we proclaim these truths. That is enough. See you soon, family. Adonai. Soul debate, free will, responsibility, and evil. I would like to open a discussion dedicated to some recurring exchanges that frequently appear on the site and in the comments section. Free will, responsibility, and evil. A participant recently mentioned the Epicurean paradox. If God is omniscient, omnipotent, and benevolent, then there seems to be an inconsistency. Two of these attributes seem to exclude the third. An omniscient and omnipotent God cannot be benevolent. An omniscient and benevolent God cannot be omnipotent. An omnipotent and benevolent God cannot be omniscient. The logic seems solid, but it implicitly assumes that God functions as a kind of tyrant. Free will, whether it is truly a gift, an illusion, or an extension of the Creator itself, introduces a fourth element that, in my view, resolves the apparent contradiction among the three previous attributes. Many users of this site, especially in the comments section, regularly criticize the Galactics for not intervening more directly or more quickly. This raises several questions. What do they actually owe us? By what right do we demand their intervention? Who is responsible for the current situation and the level of suffering present on this planet? Which groups have voluntarily participated in amplifying control and suffering? And to what? Extent to other groups have the duty or responsibility to correct the situation. What is humanity's share of responsibility? Even if humanity has been heavily influenced, what portion of responsibility remains its own? If galactic beings truly wish to help us, what criteria, contradictions, consequences, and potential side effects would be legitimate to consider before intervening? What is the role of evil and suffering within creation? Could the infinite creator be incompetent or imperfect? Could all of this be the result of a cosmic error needing correction? If so, why hasn't the creator, or its galactic aspects, yet intervened with a decisive, epic fury operation? Or could it be that all of this has meaning? That many other criteria are at stake, beyond mere comfort? Could it be that we are simply prisoners of malevolent puppeteers, abandoned to divine indifference or impotence? I believe these are questions that merit open and thoughtful discussion. Raksha, the Pleiadian collective, Central Sun Frequency's beloved ones, we greet you in the language of light that already lives within your cells, the language that remembers the moment you first took form on this planet. We speak now as the Pleiadian collective and the Arturian Council from the realms of the fifth dimension, not from a place above you, but from within the same field of consciousness that you are slowly recovering. The frequencies of the central sun flow through your galaxy in waves that are perceived gently on the surface, but that deeply reorganize the core of your being. These currents arrive in tune with your availability, with the subtle choices you make every day to soften, to listen, to feel instead of force, to trust instead of control. Many of you will perceive these waves as a sudden warmth in the heart, a call to nature, a deep emotional opening without an obvious story, or a quiet awareness that something ancient is awakening within you. You are invited to become a conduit through which this transformation takes place. There will be precise moments when your inner world becomes very still and your outer world seems to pause to breathe. These are the doorways. In these moments, your field aligns with the central sun, and your system becomes a bridge between the higher spheres and the planetary grid. You will feel guided to place your hands on the earth, to speak words you have never learned, to stand in silence before a window, on a mountain, in a forest, or in the middle of a city street, and simply breathe with presence. This is the anchoring. Now receive this activation for the planetary field. Close your eyes and imagine a radiant golden sphere, far beyond your physical sun, the very heart of the central sun, pulsating with a rhythm older than time. Visualize a stream of crystalline light flowing from this sphere directly onto the crown of your head, gently enveloping your brain, your throat, your heart, your womb or solar plexus, your legs, and your feet. Feel this light seeping into your cells as if they recognized it as part of their family. Speak silently. I align with the frequencies of the central sun. I open my field as a living vessel of light. Through my presence, these currents anchor into the planetary body. I am guided in the precise moments that serve the highest good. I bring this light to earth with grace and devotion. Now visualize the light flowing from your feet into the earth beneath you, traveling through roots, stones, waters, cities, forests, and oceans, intertwining with the crystalline grids of the planet. Trust that, wherever you are, the earth welcomes you as messengers of this transformation. Equinox and Mercury direct stations on March 20th, just over a day after the new moon in Pisces. The sun enters Aries and falls into the embrace of Pisces' modern ruler, Neptune. And so we enter the new astrological year on fairy wings and a prayer. This is the Earth's birthday, the birthday of life and love and all those wings. The natal theme of the sun's ingress into Aries each year sets the tone not only for the first quarter of the astrological year, but for the entire year to come. Here in the northern hemisphere we celebrate spring, while to the south autumn is descending. Across the globe, the Earth is tilted toward the sun such that day and night are equal, or as equal as possible. The sun rises exactly east, sets exactly west, and crosses the equator at noon as it slowly makes its way back north. And so we, here in the northeast, wait with bated breath for the crocuses to emerge from underground and the cherry trees to blossom. Meanwhile, to the south, the trees will lose their leaves and summer will come to an end, making way for cooler seasons. And so a new cycle begins. This year it is the first time Neptune, and Saturn, are also in Aries for the ingress. In recent years, although Neptune was conjunct the Sun, it was still in the last degrees of Pisces. These last degrees of the zodiac symbolize a period of liberation, of conclusion, and of detachment from what has been. When important planets like Neptune and Saturn enter the sign of Aries, we witness a rebirth of primordial energy that heralds a rebirth in society. With the Sun conjunct both Neptune and Saturn at the equinox, light shines on events in anticipation of these nascent new beginnings. Neptune is neither positive nor negative. In its worst form, it can mislead us by sowing false promises, vain hopes, and misleading commonplaces. When Saturn and Neptune are conjunct, we must be cautious, because often what appears true proves false, while the false is believed true. In its highest expression, Neptune so close to the Sun can also be the time when the sacred and the spiritual take precedence, allowing compassion and faith to be our guides. Saturn in Aries can bring the commitment necessary to manifest these values. Asterisk fate is strange, and our destinies can be shaped by even very small decisions. Asterisk Emily Rada, The Golden Door. A few hours after the Sun's ingress into Aries, Mercury, our celestial navigator, stations, ending its retrograde phase, and finds itself conjunct, in the same sign and degree, with the North Node in Pisces. In the classic text, Astrology for the Millions, Grant Louis describes Mercury in Pisces as the ability to see, feel, perceive, and savor what one desires. If you eat a slice of cake made by a loved one, it will taste like the best cake in the world. But if you see a drawing made by someone you dislike, you will find flaws. There is something unreliable about Mercury in Pisces. Are we really seeing things as they are? Or are we deceived by our biases? And when Mercury, finally, returns to direct motion on Friday, it will be in conjunction with the North Node, making us understand how even small decisions and choices can have long-term consequences. Mercury in combination with the North Node, when it returns to direct motion, can have all sorts of consequences, effects, and ramifications. Often, what seems like an excellent idea during Mercury's retrograde phase will later prove flawed, even more so within the orbit of the North Node. At the very least, what we can hope for from this phase is to be able to see how we are blinded by what we want to see, rather than by how things really are. Within the boundaries of the North Node in Pisces, the situation is far more complex. The ramifications can be amplified, the ripples can spread infinitely, the inevitable conclusions can reshape our destinies in almost unimaginable ways. In the days leading up to Mercury's station, we begin to perceive a return of our mind, our life, and our awareness to what we usually associate with normalcy. It is a gradual shift in consciousness, bringing us back more firmly to the present moment. And with it comes clarity, a bit like when you sleep on a problem and wake up in the morning with all the answers. Things fall into place. You can formulate some kind of plan. Mercury, during its retrograde phase, urged us to connect with our higher self. Whether you call it spirit, God, or goddess, consciousness, compassion, the good, that spark that burns in our hearts and minds, it is this light that will guide us through the treacherous valleys of deception, hidden traps, doubts, and fears. Let this absolute goodness guide you in everything you do. Use your voice, your hands, your feet, your heart, and your mind, and you will have no regrets. It takes incredible courage to be the light in the darkness, to stand out and be different. Yet, in this climate, we have the ability to make giant strides. Next week, Saturn in Aries will form an exact sextile with Pluto in Aquarius. Consequently, the promises, commitments, and vows we are making now will have incredible longevity, strength, and determination to succeed. So take advantage of this period to create your personalized plan for the year ahead. Use Mercury in Pisces to visualize the future you desire, but then entrust it to Saturn and Pluto. Saturn loves details, organization, schedules, and maps. Make it something you are passionate about. Pluto is inclined to have a mission. We will discuss this more deeply next week. However, what better time to plan for the year ahead than when the moon is waxing? The Sun has entered Aries, and Mercury is finally direct. The future awaits you. The grandmothers, See through our eyes, the grandmothers looked me up and down and said, "We want to give you something. Something useful, beautiful, and fun. We want to offer you a new way of seeing. You don't see things as they really are yet," they explained. "There's still a certain distortion, and that makes your vision not as clear as it could be. It's still a bit clouded and limited," said the great mothers, "but we have the cure. Until you have fully developed your divine vision, we will let you see the outside world through our eyes. Call on us and ask us to enter. Let us take up residence within you and look out through your eyes. It will require no effort on your part. It will be easy. Just ask us to see through your eyes. We will look, and in this way, we can show you all the incredible colors and shapes that are out there. All the subtleties. We will show you how light and love permeate the world. We will show you the true form of things. Everything will seem different to you, we promise. It will no longer be obscured, limited, or distorted in any way. You see," they said, with a knowing look, "you've had blinders on for so long that you don't know how beautiful, how truly splendid the world is. Let us show you," they said. "Just ask us to come in so we can take a look, and we will. Ask us to cast our gaze upon your loved ones. Ask us to take care of your problems. Ask us to take care of you. Ask us to follow the news from the world. Ask us," they cried. "We will do all this and more. We are happy to do it. There is nothing in the world that frightens us," they said. "Nothing that offends or hurts us, because we see everything for what it truly is. We see you for who you are. We look out, and we see the potential. Love in action. Light and beauty being born and taking shape. So call on us right now and ask us to take a look. We can have fun together."